The first page took you what?
A long time. I was going to sleep. And the last week I was reading 128A, 128B. Okay, we can't write it.
Oh yeah, not on your binders because it makes it too soft. Yeah. It makes it, and then your handwriting's not. But you can put another piece of paper underneath your paper. Can someone lend Luke a piece of paper? Oh, good job, Micah.
Hey, can I just open my binder and write on the top of the first page?
Now, Gianna, how many times have we talked about that, you and I?
No, I can open the binder, put it right here.
No, you and I have talked about that. Do you want a couple pieces of paper to put underneath it? That solves the problem. Because see, this is still going to be too soft. Put a couple pieces of paper underneath it. And save these pages. You have some, good job, Micah. Put this underneath it. You want some, Emily, to put underneath yours? Pass that, Gianna, for me. Pass that. Oh, pass that, yeah. There we go. You want some to put underneath yours? Would you like some to put underneath yours? No? Okay. Oh, you have some. Very good. A couple of you remembered just to put it under. Do you have some under yours? You have some? Very good. A couple of you remembered that that already knew. Y'all didn't know. So remember, when you get out a piece of paper, I should say, get out 2 or 3 sheets of paper, because if you have a couple of sheets of paper underneath it, then you don't need anything under it. Okay, so simplify or reduce these fractions.
So is this a test?
This is a practice test. What's the date today?
The 6th.
Thank you, ma'am. I just need to call you my assistant. Now, did y'all use our special trick of knocking it down by 2 or 3 instead of finding factor trees for those large numbers? Remember, the trick is you try to divide them by 2s and 3s, 5s and 10s. Risha, do you ever change out the ink cartridges?
I don't touch the ink.
Okay. Okay, I wanted to make sure you knew how to do. It is. Hey, Jesse, I didn't even see you walk in.
No, I just turned the heat off because it's.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm turning the air conditioner on
Yeah, I
a
was
little
like, why
bit.
is the heater on?
I know. I was wondering, I'm like, I thought I left it on. I thought I put it low enough last night that it would keep it warm without making it too hot, but that thermostat doesn't work right.
Last night, the ceiling fan, it was like warm.
Oh, yeah. I had the air conditioner on. I woke up, I couldn't sleep. And Mr. Jesse, I still didn't give you that extra homework. Yeah, it's your responsibility, okay? Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I forgot to give you one. Sorry about that, Miss Riley. Bless you. Put your pencils down when you're done so that I know that you're finished. Okay, 5 more minutes. put your names on the top of the paper. Yes, ma'am.
Is it okay if your name's on the bottom?
I'll be looking at the top for it. Usually what we do is we put the date, math, and our names. The date, math, and our names. These are just practice tests, so your names are just fine. But I'll be looking across the tops of them, and then I won't realize that it's yours to look at the bottom. And remember, this is just a practice test. I just want to see where you are with it. This is not for a grade. So, okay, I'll pick them up now. And it's okay if you're not finished.
I kind of had to rush mine a bit, but
That's okay, that's okay. Make sure everybody's got their name on them. There's yours, yep. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Huh? That's, yeah, because you didn't have your sheets, it's understandable. So we'll work on that. Oh my goodness. I need to clean this table. Thank you, sir. Very good. And that's correct too.
Is Mardi Gras like next month or this month?
It's this month. And remember, in 2 weeks,
Every month. Like when I was a kid, I thought like Mardi Gras starts in March.
now we should put our work on the front of our page. You see how the holes are right here? And so put it on the front next time if you can remember, okay? Okay, so now we're going to start working on page 170. And we're going to learn how to multiply fractions. We've been adding subtraction, tune in now. We've been adding fractions, we've been subtracting fractions, and mixed numbers, improper fractions. Now we're going to start multiplying fractions. So if you look on page 170, the first one is 5/6 times 1/2. You're not going to need extra paper for this because these are very short and quick. Page 170. Is everybody on that page? Page 170? To multiply fractions, we multiply our numerators. 5 times 1 is 5. And we multiply our denominators. 6 times 2 is 12. And that's it. Multiplying is very easy, isn't it? There's one more step that we're going to get to after we practice a few of these. Get my glasses on. And you can use your calculators. Now let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 says 4/9 times 2/3. We multiply our numerators. 4 times 2 is 8. And we multiply our denominators. 9 times 3 is 27. So complete this page for me, please. You better get off that phone and get to that work. Look.
Oh.
Can you remind Jesse to do his work and not play on his phone when you see him? Oh, very good. Okay, excellent then. Bless you. Jenny, how did you do this without, I don't see your work.
It was kind of hard because I didn't get their sheet.
You don't have those sheets either? That's odd. 3 students. Who else did not have their homework sheets?
168.
The E. Yeah, I know you, Grace. Your reducing of your fractions. 146. I'm sorry, 138. Everybody turn to page 138. Everybody else has them, and you would have had them to do your homework. So, but Jenny, some of these are right.
I used the calculator.
That's what I wanted to know. How did you use your calculator?
I just put the thing, and then I just put 2 in, and it just popped up.
Okay, so I want you, your calculator's set to that, but I want you to do them by hand. But you didn't have the work, so.
What page are we supposed to go on?
I want you to finish your work right now on page 170. Well, Miss Grace, you did very well. You wrote one of them down wrong, which, you know, is not really important, so. But you did well. Autumn, perfect. Riley, perfect. Luke, perfect. Okay, is everyone finished with multiplying?
So, like, you don't have to do factor trees.
If you don't need to. Okay, so now, is everyone finished with their multiplying? Jenny, let's start with you. What did you get for number 3?
9/20.
That's right, 9/20. Micah, do you have that answer? Do you have that answer?
What answer was it again?
9/20.
Why don't you know? Because you're talking to Luke, okay? Are you on the right page?
170?
Uh-huh. Okay, she just called out the answer to number 3, and she said 9/20. Check. Yeah, but you didn't know until I called your attention to it, Micah. You have to tune in and check your answers. Keep on checking them now. Autumn, what did you get for the next one?
5/18.
Very good, 5/18. Number 5, Riley.
7/18.
7/18. Mr. Micah.
533.
Perfect. Very good. Luke.
518.
Very good. Grace. 1/12 is correct. Very good. Gianna. Emily. David.
132.
Very good. Jenny. Number 11.
5/12.
Very good. And Autumn.
4/15.
4/15. Very good. Very good. Okay, so now let's turn to if I can find the right page here. Here we go. Let's turn to page 173. I think we're going to have to go to page 174. Let's take a look at number 1 on page 174. Page 174, number 1. We have 1/6 times 11/4. Now, a lot of times we use this instead of the multiplication sign, right? Instead of the X, I should say. Now, when we're multiplying fractions, put down your calculators. When we're multiplying fractions, we have to do something before we multiply our numerators and before we multiply our denominators. We have to do something. We have to check to see if we can reduce this the same way we reduce these. Okay? The same way we reduce these. Here, we divide a numerator and a denominator by 2, right? We divide the numerator and the denominator by 2. We can do the same thing here if it can be done. So what we have to do is we have to look to see, this one's 1, so we're never going to divide by 1. So let's take a look at the 11. Can 11 and 6 be divided by the same number? 6 can be divided by 2, 3, and 6. 1, 2, 3, and 6. 11 can't be divided by any of those, can they? 11 and 4, can they be divided by the same number? 4 can be divided by 2 and 4. 11 cannot be divided by 2 or 4. So once we've checked that, then we multiply our numerators and we multiply our denominators. Now I don't have to I don't have to even think about reducing my answer, because I've already checked to see if I can reduce it here, and it can't be reduced. Now let's take a look at number 2. For number 2, we have 5/3 times 2/5. Now before we multiply our numerator and denominator, we need to check to see if, before we multiply our numerators and then our denominators, before we multiply 5 times 2, before we multiply 3 times 5, we have to check to see if a numerator and a denominator can be divided by the same number. Grace, do you notice a numerator and denominator that can be divided by the same number? That's right. 5 can be divided by 5, can't it? And 5 can be divided by 5. You see, this 5 can be divided by 5, and this 5 can be divided by 5. It's a numerator and a denominator, so we do that. 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 5 divided by 5 is 1. Bless you. Now, we multiply 1 times 2 equals 2, and 3 times 1 equals 3. So we have to, that's called cross-canceling. Write this down at the top of your page. Cross-canceling. That's called cross-canceling. And we cross-cancel before.
I remember this.
Very good. We cross-cancel before we multiply fractions.
So do we write cross-canceling on top of the next one?
Yes, so that's what I said to do, right? Write cross-canceling at the top of that page. Let's take a look at number 6. This was number 2. Let's take a look at number 6 on page 174. And that is 3/4 times 8/9. Go ahead and try to cross cancel that one. Mr. David, do you see anything that can be cross-canceled there? Do you see a numerator and a denominator that can be divided by the same number?
3 and 9.
Very good, 3 and 9. Is there anything else that can be divided by the same number? What else, David?
4 and 8.
4 and 8, that's right. They can both be cross-canceled. The 3 and the 9, we can cross-cancel the 3 and the 9 because both of these are divisible by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Then we see that 8 and 4 can also be cross-canceled. What can they both be divided by, Riley? 8 and 4. What can they both be divided by? They can both be divided by 2. So let's say 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. Do you see any more cross-canceling that can be done? How about 2 and 4? 2 and 4 can both be divided by 2, can't they? Because take a look at this. We could have divided 8 and 4 by 4, couldn't we? You see that? Because 4 is divisible by 4 and 8 is divisible by 4. But we didn't divide it by 4. We divided them by 2. We said 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So we see that we have another 2 that we can divide out of that. Does that make sense, Grace? So now 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Now you kind of have to chase after your numerators and denominators now that they're all over the place, huh? This is 1 times 2 equals 2, 1 times 2, and then 1 times 3 equals 3.
This is math
Now let's take a look at that same problem. If I had 3/4 and 8/9, if I had not cross-canceled, if I didn't notice that I could cross-cancel, I would say 3 times 8 is 24, and 4 times 9 is 36. I have to reduce that answer now, don't I? They're both divisible by 12. So I get the same answer, but we have to learn how to cross-cancel instead of reducing our answer here, because in algebra we'll have to do this where you can't reduce, or it's a little bit more difficult too. So we have to learn to cross-cancel when we're multiplying. So now let's everyone take a look at number 7. Everyone try number 7 and number 8. While you're working on that, I'm going to give you your practice test back. Emily, you had one tiny error. You just had to divide by one more set of 2. Other than that, it was a perfect paper. Mr. David, you wrote this one down incorrectly. And then this one could be reduced some more, and this one could be reduced some more. So once you reduce, you have to keep on looking to see if you can reduce them more, and that one's correct. Miss Gianna, you did just one incorrect with your division. 8 divided by 2 does not equal 2, it equals 4. You reduced this one well, but you had to do it a little bit more. You see that? 4 and 6 can both be divided by 2, huh? And then here you just wrote it down incorrectly. But this is correct for this. So this one is correct for what you wrote. Now on this one, we never use 1 because it doesn't change our answer, does it? No. But if you make factor trees, you'll see that 27 and 81 can both be divided by 9. Or you could try dividing them by 3 because you see 7 plus 2 is 9 and 8 plus 1 is 9. So you know you can divide by 3 and then divide by 3 again. And that one's correct. Very good. Perfect. Perfect. Let's see. Did I give you yours back, Jenny? Oh, it must be at my table. Perfect. So we got to work on that some, okay? No, you have to show that to your mother. Okay, so we got to work on doing those by hand, huh? So let's take a look at number 7. Number 7 is 7/6 times 9/11. Emily, did you see anything here that could be cross-canceled? That's right. What can they both be divided by, the 6 and the 9?
3.
That's right. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Did you see anything else that can be cross-canceled, Autumn?
Well, 6 can be divided by 3 too.
Right, I divided them both by 3. You see, I divided 6 and 9. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and 9 divided by 3 is 3.
Oh.
See, I divided them both by 3. Is there anything else, Autumn, that I can divide, that I can cross-cancel here? 7 and what? What can 7 and 11 both be divided by? 7 is prime, means it only has factors of 1 and 7, and 11 is prime, it only has factors of 1 and 11. So they can't both be divided by the same thing.
Can our test say like
Luke, we're in the middle of a problem.
can
Miss Grace, do you see anything else that can be cross-canceled in this one? There's nothing else. Nothing else can be cross-canceled. So we multiply. 7 times 3 equals 21, and 2 times 11 equals 22. And here's a trick. Here's a little trick or a little tip. When one is one less than the other, 21 over 22, they can never be reduced or canceled anymore. If I have 19 over 20, you don't even have to try and reduce it anymore. It's done. If I have 16 over 17, 4 over 5, 81 over 82, 368 over 369. None of those can be reduced because they're one number off. So that will save you some time if you remember that. That will save you some time if you remember that. Okay? Okay, so let's everyone try. Oh, what did y'all get for number 8? Who wants to give me the answer to number 8? Emily, what'd you get for number 8? Could you cross cancel anything there? No. So what is your answer? Say it a little bit louder for me. What's your answer for number 8? Oh, did you not do it yet? Huh? Okay, go ahead. What'd you get, Emily? 5/16. Number 8 is 5/16. Very good. So everyone do 9 through 12 now. Okay, let's go over your answers. No writing in the agenda yet. Well, you already have your work done, so that's okay. Okay, so we're on page 174. Number 9. Who feels like they found something there that could be cross-canceled? Anything that could be cross-canceled? Luke, what answer did you get? What number did I just say? No, you're not tuning in. Jenny, what did you get?
I got 14
Jenny?
over 15.
Jenny?
14, 15.
I'm sorry, say again?
14 over 15.
Yes, 14 over 15. Luke,
I was gonna say something and you just
you thought we were on number 11, and so I just passed you right
I
by.
said number 9.
No, you said number 11. We have it on
After
video.
Number 11.
Okay, but you see, when I called on Jenny, she didn't have to ask. Okay, I want you to tune in, okay? Micah, look at number 10. Did you see anything that could be cross-canceled?
No, not really.
What do you think, Autumn? Did you see anything that could be cross-canceled? The 2's can be cross-canceled, Micah. Both 2's can be divided by 2, right? So what did you get for your answer, Autumn?
5/7.
5/7 is correct. Very good. Grace, on the next one, do you see anything that can be cross-canceled? No. So what did you get for an answer? 7/8. And you know, like when Jenny said we got 14/15, and when Grace just said we got 7/8, we know we didn't miss anything because look, they can't be reduced. So we know that that's correct. Emily, did you see anything that could be cross-canceled for number 12? No. You're right, there's nothing. So what did you get? 9/40. That's correct. And nothing, you don't have to worry about, once you've cross-canceled correctly, you don't have to worry about checking your answer to see if it's simplified or reduced, put in simplest terms. You don't even have to check once you've cross-canceled. If you haven't cross-canceled, then you need to go and make your factor trees and figure that out. Now remember, when you're working on cross-canceling, it's just like reducing a fraction or simplifying a fraction. So you can make your factor trees there to find out if you need to. Okay, so if you see on the board, look, everybody turn to page 168 in your binder. We didn't do that one yet, did we? Very good. So we had 167 already for homework. So that one's done. So we're going to do 168. Now look at page 169. You can use your calculator. This is all division by 2. You can also use the chart up at the top. Look up at the top and find the number 10 up at the top, on the top row. Put your finger on the number 10 on the top row. Y'all should have already been on the right page. Micah and Luke, you have to do what I tell you to do when I tell you to do it. Put your finger there. Put your finger there. On number 10. Does everybody have their finger on number 10? Now, 10 divided by 2, look right underneath it. The answer is 5. Look right next door to the 8. 8 divided by 2, the answer is right underneath it, 4. Look right next to that, 6. 6 divided by 2, the answer is right underneath it, 3. So all of your answers are right there. When we divide by 2, we cut a number in half. Then if you look at pages 170 and 171, that's more multiplication. Check to make sure with your cross canceling before you multiply your numerators and then multiply your denominators. Okay, so write this into your agenda. We're going to have a quiz, y'all, on adding and subtracting mixed numbers. That's the homework that you have on page 169. We're finishing that up. On page 168. We're finishing that up. So make sure that you understand this. The quiz is going to be from page 168. I'm going to take the questions from page 168. So if you can complete all of the problems on page 168 correctly, then you will do well on the quiz. I'm going to take the problems directly from this page. I'm not going to give you the whole page. I'm going to choose a few from this page, and that's going to be your quiz.